Hello, my dear friend. Welcome to VUS Learning English Podcast. My name is Anna. I am so happy you are here with me today. Today, we are going to talk about something very important. We will talk about money, but we will talk about it in a new way, a kind and gentle way. We will learn about 5 big circles, 5 traps that can keep good people feeling stuck. They are called poverty loops. But more importantly, we will learn how to break free. We will learn how to find financial freedom. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Your time is a gift, and I am very thankful for it. If you enjoy our time together, please think about supporting this podcast. You can tap the like button or follow or subscribe. When you do this, you help our podcast grow. It helps us reach more English learners all over the world, just like you. And I would love to know where you're listening from. Are you in a busy city or a quiet town? Are you in Europe, Asia, Africa, the Americas? Please tell me in the comments. I love seeing where our friends are. Okay, are you ready? Let's take a deep breath and let's begin. We are going to talk about being poor, but maybe not in the way you think. Being poor is not a problem with your character. It does not mean you are lazy. It does not mean you're not trying hard. And it is not just about having no money. I used to believe that. I thought if I just had a little more money, everything would be okay. I thought, I need a better job, or I need to earn more. But I was wrong. I was in a trap, and I did not even see it. I saw many good people around me. They worked very, very hard, but they were trapped too. Poverty is like a big system. It is like a machine. This machine has 5 parts that work together. I call them loops, like 5 big circles that connect. This machine is designed to do one thing. It drains your money, it drains your time, and it drains your energy to think. This machine is very good at its job. It is so good that it is hard to get out. It wants you to think it is all your fault. It wants you to feel tired. It wants you to feel hopeless. This is the bad news. This system is real. It is like gravity. You know, the force that pulls everything down. This system is always pulling you down a little bit, even if you do not feel it right now. But here's the good news, the really good news. We can understand this trap. We can see how the machine works. And in this episode, I will not tell you simple things. I will not say, just save your money or stop buying coffee. No, that is not enough. Today, we will look at every part of this machine. I will show you the 5 loops. I will show you how they work together and how they keep you feeling stuck. And most importantly, I will give you a map, a plan to escape, a step-by-step guide to break free from every loop, so you can be free for good. So if you are tired of feeling stuck, and if you are ready to find a new way, then let's begin this journey together. Before we look at the 5 loops, we need to understand the trap itself. We often think poverty is about having nothing, an empty bank account. But that is not the full picture. That is like looking at a black hole in space and saying, it's just a dark spot. A black hole is not just empty. It is a powerful force. It pulls everything into it. It is very hard to escape. Poverty is like that. It is an active force. It is always pulling. That is why some smart people talk about escape velocity with money. Escape velocity is the speed you need to break away from gravity. Why do they use this idea? Because they saw that making small steps is often not enough. Maybe you get a little more money at your job, but then your car breaks down and the money is gone. Maybe you save a little money, but then someone in your family gets sick and the money is gone for the hospital bill. This is not just bad luck. It is how the system works. The system creates these problems to pull you back in. Please hear this. You are not failing. The system is designed to make you fail. It is like a game of Monopoly, but the rules are not fair. In this game, you have to pay money every time you land on a square. But other players get to collect all the money. You are always sent back to the start, while other people get richer and richer. The 5 loops are the rules of this unfair game. They are circles that make each other stronger. They create a spiral that goes down, down, down. These loops do not just take your money, they take your time. They take your ability to think clearly. They change how your brain feels pleasure, and they can even use your friends and family to keep you stuck. Until you see these loops, you will blame yourself. You will think, I am the problem. But you are not the problem. Once you see the loops, you can stop fighting yourself. You can start fighting the real enemy, the system itself. Let's look at the first loop, the one that starts it all. Loop 1. The cash drain loop. The first loop is about money. Many people know this one, but they do not understand how dangerous it really is. People think the problem is, I do not have enough money. But the real problem is what happens to your brain when you do not have enough money, and what happens with numbers and math. This loop has 2 powerful parts. The first part is called the scarcity tax. The second part is called the compound void. Let's talk about them one by one. First, the scarcity tax. This sounds like a real tax, but it is a tax on your brain. Some smart people at Princeton University study this. Their names are Mullainathan and Shafir. They found something very scary. When you are always worrying about money, worrying about bills, worrying about rent, worrying about food. This constant worry puts a heavy load on your brain. It is like carrying a very heavy backpack all day, every day. But this backpack is in your mind. This mental backpack is so heavy that it can lower your IQ score. It can drop by 13 or 14 points. Let's think about that. 13 points. That is a big drop. It is like losing a whole night of sleep. You are just as smart as before, but your brain does not have the energy to work well. Imagine your brain is a computer, a smart computer, but you have 200 programs open at the same time, all running in the background. What happens to the computer? It becomes slow. It lags. It might even crash. Your brain is the same. When it is lagging, you make worse decisions. The front part of your brain is for planning, for thinking about the future, for making good, long-term choices. But when you are stressed about money, this part of your brain gets quiet. Another part of your brain takes over, the part that wants to fix problems right now, the part that only thinks about today. This is why a person who is struggling with money might take a payday loan. A payday loan is a loan with very, very high interest. It is a very bad deal. It is not because they are bad at math. It is because their brain is tired. Their brain is screaming, I need help right now. So the payday loan looks like a good solution, a lifeline, but it is a trap. It makes things much worse later. So the system puts a tax on your brain power. Then it offers you a bad loan that looks like a good idea. It is a perfect trap. Now let's talk about the second part of this loop. I call it the compound void. There is a famous saying, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. The saying goes on. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. This idea is the center of the poverty trap. When you are poor, you are on the wrong side of this idea. You are the one who pays. Think about a credit card. Maybe it has 20% interest. That is compound interest working against you. It is like a small snowball of debt at the top of a big hill. It starts rolling. And as it rolls, it gets bigger and faster and bigger and faster. Soon, it is a giant snowball that can crush you. That car loan, those student loans, those buy now, pay later plans for furniture. All of these are systems that make you pay compound interest to someone else. Now think about wealthy people. They are on the other side. They are the ones who earn it. They own things called assets. Assets are things that make money for you, like stocks or houses that they rent to others. These assets also have compound growth. Their money is like a snowball of wealth. It is also rolling down a hill, getting bigger and faster and bigger and faster. So let's imagine two people. One person starts with a $1,000 debt on a credit card. The interest is 20%. The other person starts with $1,000. They invested in something like an S&P 500 index fund. Let's say it earns about 10% each year. At the start, the difference is not so big. $1,000 of debt, $1,000 of savings. But wait 10 years, then 20 years, then 30 years. The difference is huge. It is not a small gap. It is a giant canyon. The person with debt is in a deep, dark hole. The person with investments is on a rocket ship to freedom. They are living in two different worlds, two different mathematical worlds. The cash drain loop is designed to keep you in the world where you always pay, and you never get to earn. How to break loop 1. So, how do we escape this first powerful loop? Just trying to earn more money is not enough. That is like trying to jump off a planet. You need a special speed. You need escape velocity. This is a 2-step plan. Let's go through it slowly. Stage 1. Buy back your IQ. This is the very first step. It is the most important. Before you do anything else, you must turn off the scarcity tax. You need to get your brain's energy back. Research shows the best way to do this. You need to build a small pillow of money, a small financial buffer. I'm not talking about a big emergency fund, not 6 months of money. That is too hard when you are struggling. I am talking about a get your brain back fund. Just a small amount, maybe $500 or $1,000. This small amount of money is your shock absorber. It is your safety pillow. You keep it in a separate savings account. You do not touch it. Then, when a surprise happens, a tire on your car blows out, your child gets sick and needs medicine, you use the money from your safety pillow. You do not use your credit card. You do not panic. This one simple thing stops the panic. It stops the scarcity tax from taking your brain power. It helps you think clearly. It helps you avoid the trap of a payday loan. You must find this money. Be very focused. Sell things you do not need. Work a few extra hours if you can. Eat simple food like rice and beans for a short time. Getting this money is not just a financial goal. It is a goal for your brain. You are buying back your own thinking power, your own intelligence. Stage 2. Cross the compound zero line. Okay, so you have your safety pillow. Your brain is working better now. It is not in a panic. Now you have one mission. You must get on the right side of the compound interest idea. You must stop paying it and start earning it. This means you must cross a special line. I call it the compound zero line. This is the point where you have no more bad debt. And you can start to invest your money. How do we do this? We must attack your high-interest debt. This means debt like credit cards. This is your number one enemy. There are two famous methods for this: the debt snowball method and the debt avalanche method. For the debt snowball, you list all your debts. From the smallest amount to the biggest, you pay the minimum on all of them, but you put all your extra money on the smallest one. When the smallest debt is gone, you feel great. It is a big win for your mind. Then you take all the money you were paying on that debt, and you add it to the payment for the next smallest debt. For the debt avalanche, you list your debts by interest rate, from the highest interest rate to the lowest. You put all your extra money on the debt with the highest interest rate. This way, you pay less money over time. It is the best way mathematically. Which one should you choose? It does not matter so much. The most important thing is your focus, your intensity. All your extra money goes to destroying one debt at a time. Obliterate it. Make it disappear. And while you are doing this, you start one more tiny new habit. You start investing, even just $10 a week or $5 a week. You can put it in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. Why? Because you need to teach your brain a new story. You need to change your identity. You're not a debtor anymore. You're an investor. You need to feel what it is like to be on the earning side, even if it is just a tiny, tiny amount. It changes how you see yourself. The day you pay off your last high-interest debt. The day your money starts flowing into assets, not into debt payments. That is the day you break the cash drain loop. You have crossed the zero line. You have escaped the math trap. And for the first time, the eighth wonder of the world is working for you, not against you. What a beautiful feeling that is. Loop 2. The time drain loop. If the first loop was the floor of the prison, then this second loop is the walls. The walls that keep you inside. This loop works on a very simple and hard rule. If your money comes only from the hours you work, you will never be truly free. This is the linear income trap. Linear means in a straight line. 1 hour of work equals 1 hour of pay. Most of us learn to follow this path. Go to school, get a safe job, trade your time for a paycheck. The problem is your time is limited. There are only 24 hours in a day. You need to sleep. You need to eat. You can only work a certain number of hours. Then you get too tired. This puts a limit on how much money you can earn. A hard ceiling. You can get a small raise at work. maybe 3% more money. But that just raises the ceiling a little bit. You are still inside the room. You are still trapped. And what is worse? Your income has a limit, but your costs do not. The cost of living goes up. This is called inflation. Even if the government says inflation is low, the real cost of the important things can go up much faster. The cost of your home, the cost of your food, the cost of healthcare. Your pay, even with small raises, can feel like you're on a treadmill, and the treadmill is slowly getting faster. You have to run faster and faster just to stay in the same place. It is exhausting. Economists have a name for part of this problem. They call it sticky wages. It means prices for things can go up very quickly. But wages, the money you earn, are slow to change. They are sticky. This means the money you have buys less and less over time. But the most difficult part of the time drain loop is that it steals the one thing you need to escape. It steals your time. Think about a normal week. You work 40 hours or 50 hours or even 60 hours. You travel to work and from work. You come home and you are tired. So tired. You have just enough energy to make dinner. Maybe you watch some television to relax your mind, then you go to sleep. And the next day, you do it all over again. You are so busy trying to survive that you have no time to think about a better plan. You have no time to strategize. You are too tired from running on the treadmill to figure out how to get off the treadmill. The system wants you to be this way. It wants you to be tired. It wants you to believe the only answer is to work even harder, to work more hours, to get a second job. But doing that only makes the trap tighter. It leaves you with zero time and zero energy. You have no time to learn a new skill, no time to build a small business, no time to read a book about investing, no time to do the things that could break the link between your time and your money. So you are stuck in a circle. You trade your time for money, but the money is never quite enough. So you need to trade more time, which gives you less time, which means you have no time to learn how to stop trading time for money. It is a perfect closed loop, a perfect trap. How to break loop 2. To escape this loop, you need a new way of thinking, a big change in your mind. You must stop thinking about getting paid for my time. And you must start thinking about building value that pays me. This is not a fast process. It is a careful escape plan. It takes time and patience. Step 1. Adopt a skill stacking mindset. In the old model, you get paid for one skill. You are a cook, you are a driver, you are a cleaner. The secret to breaking free is to become a special mix of skills. This is called skill stacking. You stack your skills like building blocks, one on top of the other. Scott Adams, the person who created the Dilbert cartoon, talked about this. He said he was not the best artist in the world. He was not the funniest writer in the world. And he was not the best business person. But he was pretty good at all three things. He was a good artist. He was a funny writer. And he knew some things about business. This mix of skills made him special. It made him valuable. Your mission is to find your special mix. Look at the main skill you have in your job. Now, what is a second skill you can add? What is a third skill you can add? Let's think of an example. Maybe you are a good writer. You can learn about SEO, search engine optimization. That helps people find your writing on Google. Then you can learn about digital marketing. Now, you are not just a writer. You are a content strategist. You can help a business get more visitors to their website. That is a very valuable stack of skills. Here's another example. Maybe you are a good mechanic. You know how to fix cars. Can you learn how to make simple videos? With your phone? Now, you are not just a mechanic. You are an automotive educator. You can start a YouTube channel. You can teach people how to do simple car repairs. You can build an audience of people who trust you. You must find 1 hour every day, just 1 hour. You can take this hour from watching TV or from scrolling on your phone. Use this 1 hour to learn your second or third skill. This hour is the most important investment you will ever make. It is like a small hammer, and every day you use it to chip away at the walls of the time-drain prison. Step 2. Build your first time-leveraged income stream. As you start to stack your skills, you can start to build something that makes money but is not connected to your hours. This is where you create leverage. Leverage means you get a big result from a small effort. There are 4 main kinds of leverage. Let's learn them. First is capital. This is money working for you. This is what we started in Loop 1 with investing. Second is code. This is software or an app. You can write code once, and it can work for thousands of people all at the same time. You do not need to be there. Third is media. This is a YouTube channel, a podcast, a blog, or an Instagram account. You create a piece of content one time, like a video or an article, and it can be watched or read by millions of people at any time of day or night, forever. Fourth is labor. This is using other people's time. This is the classic business model, where you hire people to work for you. For most people starting out, media is the easiest and cheapest place to start. So let's go back to our mechanic. She has her skill stack, fixing cars and making videos. She starts a YouTube channel. She calls it Fix It Right. She films herself doing common repairs. She explains everything very simply, so anyone can understand. At first, not many people watch, but she is patient. She keeps making videos. Then, one day, one video becomes popular. Maybe a video on how to change your oil at home. It gets 100,000 views. Think about that. She made the video one time, but it worked for 100,000 people. It helped them. It taught them. And it worked while she was sleeping, while she was eating dinner, while she was at her normal job fixing cars. She has created a small stream of income, maybe from ads on YouTube, or maybe from affiliate links, where she recommends a tool, and if someone buys it, she gets a small commission. She has successfully, for the first time, separated a part of her income from her time. This small stream of money is your proof. It shows your brain that a new way is possible. It gives you hope. It gives you energy. Now you pour gasoline on that small fire. You use the time and money from this small stream to make it bigger. You make more videos. You buy a better microphone. Slowly, over time, that small stream becomes a river. And one day, that river of time-leveraged income becomes bigger than the small trickle of money from your time-for-money job. On that day, you are free. You have broken the time drain loop. You can choose to quit your job, or you can keep it because you enjoy it, but you are no longer a prisoner to it. You have a choice. Loop 3. The IQ drain loop. We talked about this a little bit in the first loop, but the effect of poverty on your brain is so big, so important, that it needs its own loop. This is the loop that makes sure that even if you see a way out, you do not have the mental energy to take it. Think of it like being in a war, in a big battle. When you are in a battle, there is smoke and confusion everywhere. This is called the fog of war. In this fog, you cannot think about the big plan. You can only think about surviving right now. The IQ drain loop creates a permanent fog in your mind. Let's go back to that idea of your IQ dropping. It is so important to understand this. This is not about how smart you are. You are smart. This is about how much of your smartness is available for you to use. Imagine your brain has 100 units of energy, like a phone battery with 100% charge. A person who does not worry about money might use 10 units or 10% for background thoughts, like, what should I make for dinner? Or, I need to remember my friend's birthday. This person has 90 units of brain energy left. They can use this 90% for their job, for learning new things, and for planning their future. Now let's think about a person who is struggling with money. The rent is due next week. The car is making a strange noise. My daughter needs new shoes for school. I have a bill that is late. If I do not pay it, they will turn off the electricity. Each one of these worries is like a program running in your brain. Each one uses up your brain's energy, your battery. This is not 10 units anymore. This is 50 units, or 60 units, or even 70 units, just for juggling all the immediate problems, just for surviving. So you're left with only 30 units of brain energy, 30% of your battery, to handle everything else in your life. When you only have 30% of your brain available, everything is harder. It is harder to focus at your job. This can put your job at risk, the very job you need to survive. It is almost impossible to learn a new skill. Your brain has no free space to install the new information. It is harder to say no to buying something you do not need. Your willpower is a part of your brain that gets tired. When your brain is tired, your willpower is weak. This creates a terrible circle, a vicious cycle. Poverty causes stress. Stress uses up your brain's energy. Having low brain energy leads to bad decisions, short-term decisions, missed opportunities, and inability to plan for the future. And these bad decisions and missed opportunities lead to more poverty and more stress. The loop gets tighter and tighter. And then the system and society can make you feel bad. People might look at the decisions you made when you were stressed and they think, see, they just make bad choices. They do not know how to manage their money. This is a cruel game of blame. It ignores the real reason. It is like holding someone's head underwater and then blaming them for not being able to breathe. The IQ drain loop is so sneaky because it attacks your control center, your brain. It takes away your ability to think your way out of the prison. It convinces you that you are the problem, that you are not smart enough, that you are not disciplined enough. But the truth is, your mind is just under attack, a constant, planned attack. How to break loop 3. You cannot outthink a problem when the problem itself is stopping you from thinking. So first, you must create a space for clear thinking. Breaking this loop is not about thinking positive. It is not about saying nice things to yourself. It is about practical, smart steps to win a war for your mind. Step 1. Automate your defenses. When you are flying a plane in a thick fog, you cannot trust your eyes. You need to trust your instruments. The instruments tell you which way is up and which way is down. We need to create instruments for your financial life. You must automate as many decisions as possible. Automation means things happen automatically, without you thinking about them. This removes your tired brain from the decision. First, automate your savings. The moment your paycheck arrives in your bank account, you should have an automatic transfer set up. It sends a small amount of money to your savings account. Even if it is just $20 or $10, you do not have to decide to save. It just happens, like magic. Second, automate your bill payments. Set up auto pay for every single bill you have. Your rent, your phone bill, your electricity bill. This stops the mental energy you waste juggling dates and worrying about being late. It removes a dozen of those running programs from your brain's background. Third, automate your investing. Remember that $10 a week we talked about? Automate it. It comes out of your account every Monday, no matter what. You do not have to think about it. You do not have to feel good or bad about it. It just happens. Automation is your mental shield. Every decision you automate frees up 1 unit of your brain's energy. You are buying back your brain power, one automated action at a time. Step 2. Schedule your strategy time. The reason you do not have time to think about the big picture is because you are always reacting to problems, always putting out fires. You must create a small, special block of time, and you must protect it. This time is for thinking, for planning, for strategy. This is where your safety pillow from Loop 1 is so important. That $500 is not just money, it is a break, a ceasefire. It gives you a short time of peace, a time when you are not being attacked by financial emergencies. In that moment of peace, you must act. Schedule one 60-minute appointment with yourself every week. 1 hour, put it in your calendar. My Strategy Hour. Treat this appointment like a very important doctor's appointment. You cannot cancel it. You cannot miss it. During this 1 hour, you do not worry about bills. You do not deal with today's problems. This hour is only for working on your escape plan. You use this time to research your skill stack. You use it to plan your first YouTube video. You use it to read 1 chapter of a book about business or money. This is your clear thinking safe place, your sanctuary. By creating a special time and place just for planning, you teach your brain that it does not have to worry about the big escape plan 24/7. Your brain knows that on Sunday at 7 p.m., that is when we work on the plan. This allows your brain to relax a little during the week. It reduces the heavy load even more. Breaking the IQ drain loop is not about becoming a genius overnight. It is about cleaning the fog systematically so the smart, powerful mind you already have can finally come out and fight for you. Loop 4, the dopamine drain loop. We are all human. And as humans, our brains are wired in a simple way. We are wired to move toward pleasure and move away from pain. The fourth loop of the poverty machine is very clever. It uses this basic wiring against you. It uses your brain's own chemistry to trick you into building your own prison. This is the dopamine drain loop. Let's learn how it works. Living with constant financial stress does more than just tax your brain. It fills your body with a stress chemical called cortisol. When you have high levels of cortisol all the time, your body is in a state of fight or flight. It feels like you're always in danger. You're always on high alert. This is very, very tiring. Your brain feels this pain and this stress, and it wants relief. It wants to feel good. So it starts looking for a quick, easy way to feel pleasure. It looks for a hit of the happy chemical. That chemical is called dopamine. Where can you get a quick hit of dopamine? A notification on your phone? Beep. Dopamine. A sweet, sugary drink. Slurp. Dopamine. And the most dangerous one for your money. A purchase. Buying something new is a small act of power when your life feels out of control. Buying something makes you feel in control for a moment. When you click Buy Now on Amazon for a new gadget or a new pair of shoes, or even when you just order expensive food to be delivered, you get a short burst of dopamine. It's like a medicine. It hides the pain of the stress for a few minutes. It is a small escape from your difficult reality. It feels good for a moment. The system is built to make this easy for you. Buy now, pay later. Services are everywhere. They say, enjoy it now. Worry about the money later. Credit cards give you instant pleasure. Advertisements are always telling you that this one new thing will finally make you happy. But here's the trap. You are buying things that are called liabilities. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. A new car loses value the moment you drive it. A designer handbag costs a lot but gives you no money back. The newest phone will be old in 1 year. All of these things are liabilities. Now let's think about wealthy people again. They have trained their brains differently. They get their dopamine hit from buying assets. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket. They get excited when they see their investment account grow. That is their dopamine hit. They feel a rush of happiness when they receive rent money from a house they own. That is their dopamine hit. Their feeling of pleasure is connected to things that make them more free. The dopamine drain loop does the opposite. It trains people in poverty to get their dopamine from buying liabilities. You get a short feeling of happiness from buying something. But right after that, you feel bad. You feel buyer's remorse. And more importantly, your debt goes up or your cash goes down. This makes your financial stress worse, which raises your stress chemical, cortisol, which makes your brain want a dopamine hit even more, which leads you to buy another thing you do not need. It is a chemical addiction loop in your brain. You are using purchases to feel better, but the purchases are making your situation worse. You are self-medicating your poverty with things that make you poorer. How to break loop 4. To break this loop, you need to do a reset. A reset for your brain's chemistry. You have to consciously, with intention, rewire your reward system. You need to take the power back. This is a 2-step process, a process of cleaning out the old habits and building new ones. Step 1, the 30-day monk mode detox. For 30 days, you must go on a strict diet, not a food diet, a spending diet, a dopamine fast. This is sometimes called monk mode. A monk lives a very simple life. For 30 days, you will live a very simple life. You will spend money only on the things you absolutely need, the essentials. 1, your housing. 2, your basic utilities like water and electricity. 3, your essential transportation to work. 4, the cheapest healthy groceries you can buy. That is it for 30 days. No restaurants, no food delivery, no coffee from a coffee shop, no new clothes, no new shoes, no subscriptions you do not need for survival, no Amazon orders, nothing. The first week will be very hard. Your brain will cry for its usual dopamine hits. You will feel bored. You might feel sad or anxious. You will feel like you are missing out. This is withdrawal. It is like quitting a drug. But then, after that first hard week, something amazing will start to happen. Your brain, which has been starved of the easy, cheap dopamine, will start to become sensitive again. You will start to find pleasure in simple things again. A walk in a park feels beautiful. Finishing a chapter of a book feels satisfying. A good conversation with a friend feels wonderful. You are breaking the connection in your brain, the connection between spending money and feeling pleasure. At the end of the 30 days, you will see 2 things. First, you will have saved a surprising amount of money. Second, you will have broken the power of the chemical addiction. Step 2, rewire your reward system. Okay, you have cleaned out the old system. Now it is time to build a new one. You need to point that powerful dopamine-seeking part of your brain toward things that build your freedom. You need to teach your brain to get a high from saving money, not from spending it. How do we do that? We create a new game, a new visual game that feels good. Open a new savings account, a high-yield savings account if you can, and give it an inspiring name. Do not just call it savings. Call it My Freedom Fund, or My Escape Plan, or Future Me's Dream. This is where all the money you saved during your monk mode goes. And from now on, this is your new game. Every time you feel the urge to buy something you do not need, you stop, you take a breath, then you take the exact amount of money that thing would have cost, and you open your banking app, and you manually transfer that money into your freedom fund. You were about to buy a $5 coffee? Stop. Transfer $5 to your freedom fund. You almost bought a new pair of jeans for $100? Stop. Transfer $100 to your freedom fund. And as you do this, you watch the number in that account go up and up and up. This is your new game. This is your new high score. That rising number becomes your new dopamine hit. You will start to feel a bigger and better happiness from seeing that number grow than you ever felt from the short temporary high of a new purchase. You are hijacking the system's trap. You are using the exact same brain chemistry that trapped you. and you are pointing it toward your own freedom, your own liberation. When saving money becomes more fun than spending money, the dopamine drain loop is broken forever. Loop 5, the social drain loop. No person is an island. We are social creatures. We need other people. And no one becomes poor all by themselves. The fifth and final loop is the one that makes escaping so hard and so lonely. This loop uses your most basic human need against you, the need to belong, the need to be part of a group. This is the social drain loop. Some people call it the crab bucket effect. Let me tell you the story of the crab bucket. If you put one crab in a big bucket, it will climb up the side and get out easily. But if you put a dozen crabs in the same bucket, something strange happens. As soon as one crab starts to climb and it gets near the top, the other crabs will reach up with their claws and they will pull it back down. Then another crab tries to climb, and again the others pull it back down. In the end, no crab ever escapes the bucket. This is a perfect story for what happens in our social lives. Your group of friends, your family, your coworkers, they create a powerful social gravity, a pull to be like them. Our brains are designed to copy the people around us. We do it without even thinking. We start to use the same words. We start to have the same ideas. We start to do the same things. So, if everyone you know is always in debt, if everyone you know buys things they cannot afford, if everyone you know talks about how rich people are bad, and it's impossible to get ahead, then that becomes your world. Their ideas about money become your ideas about money. This is not always because they are bad people. Sometimes it is just about fitting in. When you start to change your habits, you are doing something different from the group. This can make other people feel uncomfortable. It quietly questions their own choices. When you say no to going out for an expensive dinner because you are in monk mode, you might hear things like, "Oh, come on, you have to live a little," or "Don't be so cheap." They are not trying to hurt you. They are just trying to pull you back to what is normal for the group. They are the crabs in the bucket, pulling you back down without even knowing it. But sometimes it is more direct. If you start to have a little bit of success, you might see jealousy or anger from others. People might say, "Oh, you think you're better than us now?" Or they will try to say your success was just luck. This is a defense for their own feelings. Your success is like a bright light. It shines on their own choices. And it is easier for them to try to dim your light than it is for them to look at their own life and make a change. The social drain loop is so powerful because it creates a difficult choice. The price of your financial escape might be feeling lonely for a while. To break free, you have to be willing to climb. While people you love might be pulling on your legs, you have to choose your future self over your current comfort. For many people, this price is too high to pay, and so they stay in the bucket. It is not a happy place, but at least they are not alone there. How to break loop 5. To break this final loop, you must become the boss of your social world. You must carefully choose who and what you listen to. You have to design your own gravity. You must change the downward pull of the crab bucket. into the upward lift of a rocket launch pad. Step 1. Go on an information diet. You cannot easily change your family. You cannot just get new coworkers tomorrow. But you can 100% control the information you let into your brain. For the next 90 days, you must go on a strict information diet. This means you unfollow people on social media who only show off expensive things or who promote a life of spending without thinking. Unfollow anyone who makes you feel bad about yourself. Unsubscribe from YouTubers who focus on gossip or drama. Stop listening to friends who only complain about money. But never do anything to change their situation. Now you must replace these negative inputs with positive, helpful inputs. Use the virtual mentor strategy. A mentor is a wise teacher. A virtual mentor is someone you learn from online. Find 5 people online who have the kind of life you want. Maybe it is an investor who teaches about money. Maybe it is a business owner who started with nothing. Maybe it is a content creator who built a life of freedom. Read their books. Listen to their podcasts. Watch their interviews. Fill your mind with their way of thinking. Let their voices be the loudest voices in your head for a while. You are using your brain's natural ability to copy, but you are using it for your own good. By surrounding yourself with the ideas of successful, positive people, you will start to absorb their habits and beliefs. This creates a powerful upward pull. It fights against the downward pull of your old environment. Step 2, find your new tribe. As you start to change and grow and learn, you might start to feel a little distant from your old group. This is okay. It is a natural part of growth. It can be sad, but it is necessary. Your next step is to find people who are on the same journey as you, people who are also climbing. You do not have to leave all your old friends behind, but you must find a new group, a mastermind group, even if it is just 1 or 2 other people. Find a community online. Maybe there is a Facebook group for people trying to get out of debt. Maybe there is a subreddit about investing in index funds. Go to the YouTube channels of your virtual mentors. Read the comments. Find other people who are asking smart questions and trying to learn. Engage with them. When you share your goals with someone who is also trying to grow, they do not pull you down. They cheer for you. When you have a bad day and you want to give up, they do not say, "I told you it was impossible." They say, "That happened to me too. It is okay. Don't give up. Here is what I did." This new group of people becomes your new normal. Their positive habits become your habits. Their hope becomes your hope. Their success shows you what is possible. They are not crabs in a bucket. They are climbers on a mountain, tied together with a rope, helping each other get to the top. Building this new social circle is the final crucial step. It makes sure that once you escape the poverty machine, you never, ever get pulled back in. So there they are, the 5 loops of the poverty machine, the 5 traps that work together. 1, the cash drain loop. It puts a tax on your brain, and it puts you on the wrong side of the compound interest math. 2, the time drain loop. It puts a limit on your income, and it keeps you too tired to find a way out. 3, the IQ drain loop. It creates a mental fog. It makes it almost impossible to think clearly and plan for the future. 4, the dopamine-drain loop. It hijacks your brain's reward system. It tricks you into buying things that make you poorer. And 5, the social drain loop. It uses your need to belong to keep you stuck in a group that is not growing. Now you can see how they all connect. The stress from the cash drain loop causes the IQ drain loop. The tired brain from the IQ drain loop makes you fall into the dopamine drain loop. The time drain loop stops you from learning the skills you need to break the cash drain loop. And the social drain loop makes you feel bad for trying to escape any of them. It is a perfect system, a difficult, brutal system, but it is not unbreakable. You can break it. The most important lesson today is this: poverty is a system, and any system can be understood. It can be taken apart, and it can be beaten. It is not about wanting it more. It is not about having more willpower. It is about having the right plan, the right strategy. It is about building your own escape velocity. The steps we talked about today: building that small safety pillow to get your brain back, crossing the compound zero line to make math your friend, stacking your skills to create income that is not tied to your time, rewiring your brain to love saving, and finding a new group of friends who lift you up. This is not just a list of good ideas. This is a plan, a step-by-step sequence. It is the map for your escape. It will not be easy. I want to be honest with you. It will take focus. It will mean making sacrifices. It will mean you might feel lonely for a short time. But what is the other option? To stay inside of the machine forever, to keep running faster and faster on the treadmill, just to stay in the same place, to be a small part of a big system. That is designed to drain you of your money, your time, and your hope. You have a choice. The machine wants you to feel like you have no choice. But you do. You always do. You can continue to play the unfair game, or you can decide right here, right now, to start your escape. The map is in your hands. The first step is waiting for you. You can do this. I believe in you. Thank you for joining me for this very important episode. We talked about the 5 loops, but we did not just talk about the problems. We talked about the solutions, the real practical steps to break free. Please remember, this is a journey. It takes time. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Every small step you take is a victory. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep moving toward your freedom. You are stronger than you think, and you deserve a life of choice and opportunity. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening today. If this episode was helpful for you, please consider liking it or leaving a comment. Your feedback helps our community grow, and please share this episode with one person you know. One person who needs to hear that escape is possible. Sometimes the first step of climbing out of the bucket is sending the ladder down for someone else. Take care, my dear friend. I am sending you so much strength and encouragement. See you next time, my friend.